Alright everybody, what is up? It's Flix, welcome back. In today's video guys, we are going to be talking about Designer's Notes Year 5 Season 3.3. So if that sounds interesting, you guys enjoy the video, drop a like, let me know you guys enjoy this kind of content. And also to subscribe and turn on post notifications to stay up to date with all the latest Rainbow Six Siege news and gameplay. And without further ado, let's hop right into it guys. So I will leave the patch notes in the top link in the description down below so you guys can go and check it out for yourselves. I'm only going to be talking about one of the new features that they plan on bringing in and all the changes to the upcoming operators. But the rest of the little pieces that you guys can go and look for yourselves. I'm not going to cover every little piece. But anyway, there is some new changes coming to some of these operators which are very rather interesting. So operator balancing is going to be Ace. Ace is going to be getting reduced the number of SELMA aqua breacher explosions to 3 from 3. So there's a few ways we can look at this. We can either look at it where he only has 3 of them and then he's getting them reduced to 2. Or the way they've worded it's kind of weird. So does that mean that whenever he chucks it, it's only going to explode a chunk and then explode another chunk and then that's it? I'm not really too sure what it means by that, but that's kind of what I get from it. I'm thinking that whenever he chucks his breach charge, rather than making 3 holes, it's only going to make 2 holes. Population targeted by this change: casual, top ranked and pros. Ace is currently a very strong and popular operator, as you can see in the balancing metrics above. Investigation on his performance led us to witness that his hard breaching gadgets are very effective and have less downsides than thermite for a similar result. With this charge, we aim to reduce the presence of the operator, maintain thermite as an incredible alternative, and to invite Ace players to think twice when placing SELMA on a reinforced wall. So, yeah, that's rather interesting, and Ace is probably one of the most picked characters in rank from what I've seen. Every time we're either playing an attack or I'm going against attackers, Ace is pretty much always pretty much picked. So that would be rather interesting to see how that works out. So the next operator balancing is Frost, which she will be getting the ITA-12S as a secondary weapon. Currently, Frost only has the pistol, so now she's going to be getting the ITA-12S shotgun as a secondary. Population targeted by this change: casual. As you all know, secondary shotguns are very important in defense to structure the environment and create rotation holes. Frost efficiency currently relies on how often she is played. Most players trapped in her welcome mats did not expect the Canadian defender. On top of that, Frost is often placing her traps in staircases close to doors and windows. We hope that by adding a secondary shotgun to her loadout, she will benefit from being a bit more versatile, but also to create new pathways to place her welcome mats, such as rotation holes, requiring attackers to vote their way in. Players will be able to be a bit more creative, and we hope to bump her presence by a little margin. So Frost is actually one of my favorite defenders. I love her SMG. It's very less recoil, very accurate, and personally I really have a lot of fun with playing as Frost. But as they have mentioned, you know, making rotation holes with the shotgun is very, very important for defenders. And rather than just make a big ass hole where it's like a door, you can probably make it where you actually have to vault over it, and you know, gives Frost a wee bit more versatile, you know, to place her frost mats under. So overall, I like that change, and I guess we're going to have to wait and see if Frost is a wee bit more picked after that is introduced. Glaz reduced vision recovery time to 0.4 seconds from 1. Reduced movement penalization by 50% from 6 seconds to 12 seconds with movement. Population targeted by this change: casual, top ranked and pros. According to our balancing matrix, Glaz currently is one of the most underperforming operator We are aware that Glaz is an extremely situational attacker who has to potentially to be quite frustrated in certain confrontations. At the moment, we are only trying to help Timur find a middle ground to boost the usefulness of his gadgets to make him slightly easier to use and a bit closer to the other attackers in terms of performance. As usual with Glaz, we will monitor your feedback very closely, and you know the charts are all in the description down below, guys. Go and check on that and you guys can look at the charts. But Glaz is pretty much he's at the very, very bottom whenever it comes to attacker. Glaz is not used at all. Glaz is like he is nowhere used compared to what he used to be like years ago whenever we used to play Rainbow Six Siege. I mean, I remember Glaz used to be one of the top pick operators because he was able to look through his smokes, and overall he was just a brilliant operator, and he was really, really amazing at what he did. But now he's not anywhere as good or effective as he used to be. He's at the very, very, very bottom. But as you say, Glaz is very, very situational. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see how that tunes in. Militia, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Militia. Adding MP5 as a primary weapon, removing the T5. Optics available on the MP5, red dot sight, holographic sight, and reflex sight. Polarization targeted by this change, Calico on top right. Milicia's performance is extremely solid as she boosts a very high presence and win data in defense. We gather feedback on this outstanding performance to investigate which its balancing lever would make more sense. The T5 is currently on the best defender weapon, and we felt that switching it for the MP5 should lead to an accurate performance reductions. Additionally, only one-time optics will be available on the MP5. This should slightly reduce her versatility and ability to win in gunfights. And I totally do agree. The T5 is an amazing weapon. It's probably one of the main reasons why I love playing Legion so much. Very accurate, very high rate of fire, and overall it's just an outstanding SMG. And obviously it does have those optics, which I think you can get a 1.5 times optics from the T5. So using the MP5 isn't really as powerful. MP5 is very, very spongy, very, very weak. And also because the MP5 doesn't have an ACOG scope on it anymore, that's what makes it very, very, you know, dysfunctional compared to the T5 or other weapons for defense. It's just nowhere as good as it used to be. And while the MP5 is a lot less weaker, it's also going to be very more frustrating because it hasn't got the ACOG scope like it did previously to back it up. So overall, I definitely do think this would be a great change for her, and I definitely do think it's a step in the right direction. Oryx is getting a T5 as a primary weapon. I'm removing the MP5. Optics available on the T5, red dot, holographic sight, reflex, and one-time 0.5 scope. Population targeted by this change. Calico on top rank. Contrary to the change we did with Melissa, Oryx was suffering from having an underwhelming weapon, which has turned out to be determined to performance in gunfights. Thanks to the T5, which has proven to be excellent for other roamers, but also with the additional of the 1.5 scope, we are fairly confident with Oryx should see some improvements in that area. So overall, T5, as I was saying earlier, guys, it's an absolutely fantastic weapon. Probably one of the best weapons in Rainbow Six Siege. And not only that, Oryx will be absolutely fantastic whenever he has this weapon, mainly because the T5 is a very, very popular weapon. And his weapon at the minute isn't really that great. It's pretty trash in my personal opinion. So hopefully with him having a T5, more people would be more proud to pick him because it's one of the better weapons defending. So overall, that is good news. And last but not least, Tachanka. We all know Tachanka's getting a rework. He's getting his scope removed, the 1.5 scope from his weapon. And he's getting his whole, bouncy grenades, which are incendiary grenades. And also he's getting his heavy LMG rework. So we all know about that. And I made a video about that. So you guys can go and check that out. And last but not least is ballistic shields, explosions, protection. So shield bearers are now affected by the guard break when it hit by an explosion. Operators protected behind the shield bearer are no longer taking full explosion damage. and shield explosion protection lowered to 66% from 80%. And this new feature I was talking about, guys, is the guard break. The guard break animation will be to the damage inflicted to the shield, not to the operator, and will only be triggered if a minimum of 50 damage is received. The greater the damage, the more important the guard break animation will be, up to 100 damage. Melee damage, concussion effects, as well as the sonic burst will trigger the guard break to the highest degree, while electric damage will only trigger the lowest guard break animation. Additionally, the rotation speed of the shield operator will be reduced during the animation, and we also added a new animation for Montang to prevent his shield from folding up during the guard break. But anyway, there's quite a lot of that to read. I'm not going to really read the rest to you guys, and all the weapon changes you guys can go and look that for yourselves. But pretty much what I'm getting from that is that whenever you would throw C4, for example, or throw an impact grenade at shield, it's like it reduces his shield, so it like pushes it back. Or whenever you melee the shield and it kind of gets pushed to the left or the right, you know, it's something similar like that. I'm not really 100% sure what way I think they're going to execute it. I'm not 110%. I think this is maybe like a new animation that they're putting into the game for shields. I'm not 110% sure, but what I'm getting from it is if I chuck an impact at someone with someone who's had a shield, you know, their shield's going to get pushed back to the left or to the right, so it gives me an opportunity to have a way to shoot their body without their shield being in the way, but also it slows their timer for getting the shield back into position where it's at. I'm not really too entirely sure. But anyway, that's what I got from that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, drop a like, subscribe, turn on post notifications to stay up to date with all the latest. And I'll hopefully see you guys in the next one. Peace out.